Kiddushin, dafbrama. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the 8-minute daf. Today's daf is just an incredible daf about kibbud av v'aim and very, very famous stories and a lot of great yisodos. When it comes to kibbud av v'aim, the Torah gives us two psukim. One about kavod, one about yira, fear and honor. When the pasuk talks about kibbud, the father comes before the mother, and the reason is because typically a son gives more honor to a mother. She speaks sweeter to him, nicer to him. So the Torah has to say, no, be mechabed the father first. When it comes to yira, the mother comes first, because typically a father teaches his son Torah, so he has more yira. A father and mother who are married, then the son should be mechabed the father, because the mother also has a chiyuv to be mechabed the father. If they're divorced, then the kavod is equal. The Gemara tells us that initially when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Anochi Hashem, the Umas Ha'olam, they said, what is this? But then when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said Kabed Avicha, they realized that Hashem wants us to be mechabed parents, and that's the same idea, to be mechabed him. He wasn't in it for himself. The Gemara tells us there's so much to learn from the non-Jew Dama ben Sina, the famous story. Chachamim came to purchase an extremely expensive jewel worth 600,000 golden coins. And because Dama ben Sina was, his father Nesina was sleeping on a pillow with the key to the safe, he refused to wake up his father, and he lost that profit. A year later, he had a para aduma, a red heifer. He realized that this is no coincidence. HaKadosh Baruch was paying him back. So he told Chachamim, when they came to purchase it, he said, I could ask for any amount of money. There's only one like this in the entire world. But I'm only going to ask for what I lost last year. And the Gemara tells us, Dama ben Etzina didn't have the chiyuv of kibbud av v'aim, and this is how he acted. Certainly us, we have a chiyuv. And there's a concept. Gadol ha-mitzvah v'oisa m'she'ein mitzvah v'oisa. A person who's commanded, who has a chiyuv to do a mitzvah, his sechar is greater than a person that doesn't have the chiyuv, because that pressure to do the mitzvah actually prevents him from doing mitzvahs. So we that have that chiyuv, we have a bigger mitzvah, and we have a bigger obligation to be mekayim kibbud av v'aim. Rav Yosef, who later on in his life became blind, he was upset with this because he thought that he'd get more schar because he's not a mitzvah v'oisa, but then he realized that he gets less schar. He said, I would make a big yontif for Rabbanan if they're able to switch around the halacha a little bit. Rav Yosef, when he heard his mother coming from a distance, he would stand up. He said, I'm standing up for the Shechina. The Gemara tells us a person could feed his father a very expensive bird, but it takes him out of Olam Hazeh, it takes him out of Olam Haba. And the reason is because when he gave it to his father, and his father says, how do you afford it? Says Rashi, he says, keep on eating. Don't bother with that. And that kind of, those words, they take away from the mitzvah. On the flip side, if he tells his father, here, deal with this, do some hard work. I want you to work on the rechaim, on the mill. So somebody standing on the side would say, wait, that's not kibbud av v'aim. In fact, that is, in this case, because what you didn't see is that the soldiers came to take the father, and he said, I'll go instead of you. You, dad, you do the rechaim, and he's zoichet ha'olam haba. Avimi had 5 sons who were smuchim. They were all g'daylim. Yet when Avimi's father came to the door, Avimi ran. He wouldn't allow his sons to do kibbud av v'aim. He wanted to do it. One time, his father said, get me a cup of water. And by the time he got back, his father fell asleep. He stood over him in a bent position, full of fear and kavod, waiting for his father to get up. And that's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him a beautiful pshat in Mizmor La'asaf. As Rashi explains, it shouldn't be a mizmor that the Beis HaMikdash is nechrav. It's not a song. It's a kina. It's a Tisha B'Av. Yet, Rashi says unbelievable. Sometimes when things are destroyed, it's a yantif, because Hashem is saying, I'm taking out my anger on wood and stones and not on a human being. When a father and mother want to give to a child, the Gemara tells us if the father, especially if the father is a Talmid Chacham, you shouldn't take from the father, but take from the mother. She does it full-heartedly. The father might have some sort of chalishas hadas underneath. The Gemara tells us an incredible story about Reb Tarfon. His mother, when she wanted to get into bed, he would go on all 4 and let her step on him as a step stool. As you can see, a live demonstration in Shir. Nevertheless, the Gemara tells us that that's not even half of what a person has to do for kibbud av v'aim. A real test would be if she took his money and destroyed it, threw it into the ocean, and you don't say a word. Rabbi Yochanan says, so much is kibbud av v'aim a severe avera, if you're over on it. Praiseworthy is a person that was born without parents, because that's how chomer it is if chas v'shalom you're over on it. He himself, Rabbi Yochanan, was a yasam from a father and a mother, and so was Abaya, although throughout Shas, at least 15 times, Abai says, Omrli Aim, says the Gemara, Aim is not his real mother, Aim is the woman who brought him up. Ravasi wanted to be careful with Kibbud Av Aim. His mother, the Vilna Gaon says, she lost her mind, so he ran away to Eretz Yisrael. When he heard that she's coming to Eretz Yisrael, he wanted to go out and greet her. He tried to get a heter from Rabbi Yochanan to leave Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yochanan wasn't so happy. He says, listen, I'm not going to be upset at you if you leave. So he left. By the time he got to his mother, she was already nifter. And he felt really bad that he left Eretz Yisrael for no reason. When a person, instead of using his father's honor, send me out of here, get me out of here in honor of my father. Instead of saying that, he says, in my honor. That's not Kibbud Av V'Eim. When a father dies, he should say, Abba Moiri, Hareini Kaparis Mishkavai Halavai Akash Baruch Hu should put his einish on myself. And afterwards, he says, Zichron Levracha, lashon like what we say today. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.